I'm very excited because it has come to a point to another point in our day where we get to hear from our second guest speaker. And this person, again, can relate to a lot of you, I'm very sure of that. Because, please put your hand up if you have ever found that you wanted to make a difference in our world. Yeah, a lot of us again. Put your hand up if something has happened in your life that has made like a bit of a setback for you, a little bit of an obstacle, and you have to show a lot of resilience. Nice, right. And now, put your hand up if you showed a lot of resilience and you did that thing. Yes, so cool. Well, this next person I'm going to introduce you to, her name is Sarah. Sarah has had a very interesting journey that has taken her and led her to be where she is today. She's having an amazing impact on her world, and I'm sure on a lot of our worlds, whether we know that or not. So we are very, very privileged to be joined by Sarah today. I hope that you can learn a lot from her experience, a lot from her journey, and how she's got to where she is today, because we are very, very lucky to be in her presence here today and hear all her wisdom. So be sure to be taking lots of notes throughout this, but we have to make Sarah feel very, very welcome. So we're going to do like a little bit of a slow clap, and then it's going to go into a big round of applause. So ready? Up. Your hands together for Sarah!
Hello everybody, my name is Freeman and I'm so excited because there are some St. Francis people here! And that's where I went to school. Make some noise, St. Francis. Yeah! Yeah, here it is. Whoa, so much noise going on. It's like you enjoy going to St. Francis or something. Anyway, I have lived in the Adelaide Hills for like my whole entire life up until recently. And I went to Eachunga Primary School. So if you don't know where Eachunga is, you probably know where Harndorf is, but if you're from going to St. Francis, you know where Eachunga is. It is 10 minutes from Harndorf, so kind of country we call it. And that is where I went to school, and then I graduated primary school and headed to St. Francis de Sales College. Come on, that's really bad. Like you're letting it down right now, okay? And then I went to St. Francis de Sales College. That's much better. You get there. And I had to go there because St. Francis de Sales College has a lift, and I was in wheelchair at the time and could hardly walk because of more of my story that you'll hear. And then I was able to walk again, which was great. So I then ended up going to Hayfield High School, and I ended up graduating there, not with an ATAR, and not with any type of desire to go to university. Now that is important for the rest of the story. But when I was in year 10, you have to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. Thankfully, I had some type of an idea. I was already volunteering within the juvenile arthritis space, so I couldn't pick to do something with that. But instead, I really liked journalism. So I'd been writing like articles for print media, and I'd done a couple of radio interviews and television and stuff up to that point because I was like 15. And I thought, I'm going to go to a community radio station and do my work experience. So I went there, and after a week of work experience, I absolutely loved it. So I then started the only youth program on that radio station, and I say that's a really key point in this story is because sometimes when you are young and you're going into a space where there is people who are much older than you, they are kind of set in their ways, and it can take some love and kindness and persistence to go in there and try and do something different. And I felt like I was pretty successful. 15 years on, the show is still going, and I'm not a part of it anymore. But being in a small country town, I did attend the local church there, the United Church, and a new minister came to town, and his name is Matthew, he's a cool guy, and he said that he had a passion for radio, and I liked doing radio, and we liked telling people stories. So we thought, let's get together and create a radio we called it, very ironically, Life Bursts, because we're sharing a burst of people's lives. Right? Yeah, cool. And we started that on Hills Radio in Adelaide Hills. And this is just another thing to take note of, because you are in Adelaide, it is a blessing in a way, because everybody knows everybody. And the manager of that radio station in Glanville, the first one that I went and did work experience at, was also the manager of this new radio station. So we took this idea, and it exploded, and it became one of the most popular shows on that radio station. It became so popular that it is now a television program. 4 years ago, we had a television production company come and turn it into a TV show, a radio show, a podcast, and a video podcast. And it's now one of the most popular shows on Channel 44 in Adelaide. And it just goes to show that when you are passionate about something, when you love doing something, there's other people around you that will also love it as well and love the idea and go with it. And I tell you that story because I've been at Altitude Day before and I love being at Altitude Day. Take so many notes because you get to learn so much today. That's my advice to you guys. Just take notes, listen and ask questions when you get the opportunity to. Is that if you are looking into, you in the room, looking into going into those media spaces, please get in contact with me and I can pass your details on and we can get you some experience in that place, because that's what these days are also about. Because you have passions, you have ideas, you have awesome stuff that you want to do, and if I can be a part of helping you to make that happen, then that would be great. There's also a bunch of other things up there that I get up to. But recently, I shared, if you go to the next slide, there we go. Recently, my husband and I did move out of our rental property and into a caravan, and this is just another way that you're using the skills that you have grown and learned how to do to turn it into something fun. So we're now travel bloggers, and I share about what my pet rabbit does while we travel. His name is Marshmallow. He is blue-eyed, white fur, floppy ears, and it is just another example that if you are passionate about something and you really like doing it, take the time to learn how to edit videos or learn how to do writing and those types of things. So you can, if you are interested in going, every 2 seconds to a rabbit wearing a life jacket or going hiking, walking or swimming, then you see, I just got it. Is that St. Francis person? Anyway, you can look at that. It's just up there, a rabbit named Marshmallow. And once again, if you're looking to get into that space, please get in contact as well. But I did grow up living with juvenile arthritis. I did sort of mention that in the beginning when I was making all the St. Francis people really happy. Yeah, that was much better this time. Thank you. Was that I did grow up living with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Now, arthritis is something that happens in your body when you've got your good cells and your bad cells, and they're super confused and they fight over each other, and your body's trying to work it all out, and stuff just happens, and you end up with swelling and swollen joints, and you can't move your joints, move, dance, do the mountain high enough dance that they all made you do, which I know was embarrassing for some of you, but you did it anyway. And you can't do those things. And so I was growing up with that condition. It started on my knees when I was a baby and my wrists. And then by the time I was 25, it spread into my whole body. Every joint and internal organ was affected, including my eyesight. So I can't see any of you right now. And I know that the edge of the stage is there. And I'm not going to go too close up. Don't worry. I'm going to freak you out like that. But it just affects you in so many different ways. And when I was growing up with a condition, my family, my community, we always were big on making awareness and making a change. And when I did come to that time in year 10 and I thought, yes, I can do this. I want to be more of the Australian ambassador for juvenile arthritis. I'm already a part of the organisations that are doing that work. I'm going to see if I can take it to the next level. So I took the idea of supporting not only the child living with juvenile arthritis, because I got a lot of love. whenever I go to events with disability, I would be the one getting the presents and getting the donuts and getting all the love and attention. But it was my mum and my father and my siblings and my grandparents and my community. They were the ones that were also supporting me. I also wanted to just meet somebody else that was like me as well. I didn't know anybody else. I was like 17 by this time, and I just wanted to meet someone else. And I knew that there had to be somebody else because 1 in 1,000 children in Australia live with juvenile arthritis. So there has to be more of me out there. So I went to the organisations and I gave them my idea, and you know what they told me? They told me that I shouldn't do it. It would be too hard, don't even bother, you're a young woman, don't even bother trying, you've got blonde hair, blue eyes, no one's going to listen to you, don't even bother, nobody wants support, nobody wants any of your ideas. And you know what I did? I took all of the stuff that they said and I put it over there. Because I had all these people on this side that were going, yes, Sarah, you're on to something, you've got something good. You should do it, go and do it. But the really big step for me was when I finished high school at Hayford High School and graduated. I told the people up there in that picture on the Place for Kids Arthritis side, I told them that I lived with juvenile arthritis. And they were shocked because like that picture up there of me, it just looked normal, I suppose, is the words you would use. And I shared with them and they were like, well, wow, what do you want to do about this? Like, what's your idea? What are you thinking? And it was that moment when they actually cared that I felt supported enough to talk about living with juvenile arthritis. And once I felt supported enough, I then shared with everybody else that I was living with it. And then that awareness came about the condition. And so then more people would hear about it in their sporting groups or other communities and in their schools. So then if there were people in those spaces living with juvenile arthritis, then they also got supported and the awareness just came. Are you getting my flow and effect here? I felt supported enough to share about what it was like living with juvenile arthritis. And the flow on came that other people started talking about it, so other people felt supported enough to talk about it. But when you want to start a business and you have this idea, you have to validate your idea. Because it's great if you think it's totally worth it and totally needed, but if other people don't, then you're kind of wasting your time. So we all sat around, my friends and I, and we started pranking people for kids' arthritis. And I was the first one to get pranked, because why not? My friends moved my car when I went out for lunch, and it's a very hilarious video. Good job to them. And that video went crazy, and people started saying, like, how can we support you? How can we donate to you? What type of support groups do you have? Do you do stuff in schools? How can we connect with other people? Where's your website? And I was like, there is the validation. And I looked at all those people that were telling me that I couldn't do it, and I did nothing. Because if you're going to do stuff in your life because somebody tells you that you can't do it to try and prove them wrong, that's stupid. That's just a waste of your energy. Don't do something because somebody told you that you can't do it so that you can try and prove them wrong. No, do it because you love doing it. Do it because you can see, and if there's other people around you that can see that there is a benefit in doing it, then do it. As long as you love doing it, just do things that you love doing, because there's people out there that like doing the things that you don't like doing, so let them do those things. You know, there's lots of things I don't particularly like doing, so they do them instead. And that is how you can create an awesome team around you. And that's what Kids Arthritis became. It became this organisation that is Australia's first and leading organisation that is changing the way the world views arthritis. Now that is a really bold statement, I know, but that's literally what we're doing, and has happened in the last 10 years. This is our 10th year, and if you could go back and tell Year 9 Sarah, who was at St. Francis say that you were going to start an organisation that was like 10 years old and you're going to be talking to a bunch of people from your school that you were going to, I think you were crazy. Because people didn't believe, people didn't want to help, and there were really two main things that like really helped me. Because I had no idea how to start a charity. I didn't know anything about bylaws or chairperson or committee or constitutions or any of that stuff, or how to manage people. I was like 18. I didn't know. But the amazing thing is that the number one thing was that I asked questions. Because like I said before, there are people out there who love to help and that love to connect you. And so just ask somebody. Ask your teacher, ask a fellow student, ask a parent or somebody in your community. Because they might be really passionate about doing something and helping in a certain way. And they might come on board with you with that idea. And for me, it became stepping out and being like, okay, I'm going to ask questions, and that is how I'm going to get through this. I haven't had any formal study or anything like that, which is possibly not what some of your parents want to hear, but that doesn't matter. I'm just being real because it's my story. And I asked people and people helped. Another thing that got me through was obviously my faith is very helpful to me, and I know that is helpful to many of you in this room as well. So kids' arthritis is now huge. We're all volunteers. We don't receive any government funding. And probably like one of the most exciting things about kids' arthritis is that everybody does what they love doing. We've got people who do certain activities in certain parts where we all work together as a team. You might have some people around you right now in your team, in your leadership at your school, and they might have different passions and different things that they like doing. Talk about it, work through it. Like I have this teddy bear. I know that sounds weird because I'm 30, but I have this teddy bear. His name is Arthur, the kid's arthritis bear. His name is Arthur, the kid's arthritis bear. You can probably guess that why his name is Arthur, the kid's arthritis bear, because arthritis. Thank you. Yes, arthritis bear, and he started off as this little bear that used to come into hospital with me all the time. And then when I started kids' arthritis, because every good charity needs a mascot, he then became the mascot, and the kids would just grab hold of Arthur, the kids' arthritis bear, and chat with him and talk with him. And that's another thing. If you are going and looking into going and being in business or doing those types of things, think about what is one thing that you can use as that, that marketing or that tool that you can have access to. And so Arthur, the kid's arthritis bear, was definitely that. He's very loved. He is on social media, and he is a very fun, loving, fluffy guy who loves giving out high fives and loves giving hugs and dancing, and we have a really awesome time. And now Arthur has his own skill sets that he enjoys doing. I enjoy giving high fives, but Arthur, the kid's arthritis bear, he loves giving high fives more than I do. I love dancing, but he loves dancing even more. And so this is just an example that I'm giving to you to start thinking about those people within your school community, in your sporting groups or other social activities, in your groups, to be able to help you grow and learn and change and make an impact, however that is. Because there will be times when it will be hard, and for me it was having those people around me, like Arthur, the kid's arthritis bear. Yay, Arthur's here! Don't fall over, Arthur. Hello, welcome. Yeah, that's you. Yes, that is you, Arthur. Can we do an altitude clap to Arthur? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hello, Arthur. Oh, I see that you're wearing your... I know you're very excited, aren't you? Arthur is the Australian Mascot Games champion. Yeah, so it's like the Olympic Games, but for mascots. So it's fun. Now, did you want to go down and high five people? Because I'm literally just... Yeah, he's coming. I'm literally just telling people about how we work together as a team by using each other's skills and gifts and talents, and that Arthur likes giving high fives. If you don't want to give Arthur a high five, just hold your hand back and he won't come and give you a high five. That's fine. If you want to put some music on and dance too, if you want, that's fine. During this moment. Was that fun? No. Arthur doesn't talk. No, you don't, do you? That's okay. Okay, did you see that there's some people from my school here that I used to go to? Yeah, they're from St. Francis de Sales College. You did what? What's happening here? They're over there. I have 5 of them. Okay. Do you want to help me with my last slide here of the presentation? No, you don't get to click the button. No, you don't get to. This is always a bad idea when you give. Okay, do you want to point on the screen at the different slides? Okay, up we go. As you can see, Arthur is great at doing things, working as a team together. Okay, which one are we going to point at first? You can't reach it, can anybody? That's okay. We'll stick with it. So we do different programs at Kids Arthritis, like I said, about working as a team and using each other's skills and gifts and talents. And our first one is our pen pal program, so it connects families from different parts of Australia together, one-on-one. Right, the next one is, you can't high-five all of them. They're not real people. Okay, you good? Okay, what's the next one? Okay, the next one is October. Yes, it's National... October is National Juvenile Arthritis Awareness Month, and this is a really popular time when people wear the colour blue. Arthur's probably going, yep, that's blue, well done, excellent, the colour blue, you're wearing the colour blue. And schools often have blue days for juvenile arthritis awareness, for kids' arthritis. And we come out to the schools and we talk about kids' arthritis. Because remember what I said in the beginning when we first started Kids Arthritis, I felt supported enough to share about living with juvenile arthritis, which then meant that I spoke about the condition, which then meant that other people in those spheres, in those sporting groups at schools and those places, they then heard about juvenile arthritis, which then meant that if there were any children or families or carers that were in those places, they would also feel supported enough to speak up about living with juvenile arthritis, which then meant they felt supported, so then that more awareness comes. And that's what we find that happens at schools when the school leadership teams get together and do a blue day. That if 1 in 1,000 children in Australia live with juvenile arthritis, that's right, isn't it, Arthur? Yes, that's your name, good job. If 1 in 1,000 children in Australia live with arthritis, if you've got 1,000 kids in your school, chances are somebody is living with juvenile arthritis and they may not have shared about it. So if your whole school dresses in the colour blue and you start talking about kids' arthritis and about juvenile arthritis, they are going to feel supported enough by you around them to then talk about what it's like living with the condition. And this can happen with many different things that go on as well, whether it be mental or physical as well. It's once you can support somebody, that is when that they can talk about it and that awareness comes. And the final one down there, that's good. See, he loves giving hugs. We all work together as a team. And the last one there is we wanted to give any opportunities to any of you in this room and anyone else that you can think of within your teams or in your groups, if you're interested in getting any experience in those areas up there on the board, please get in contact with us, because that is what it is like when we work as a team and using everyone's different skills and talents and gifts to work together. Just like Arthur cannot do social media, obviously, that's why we have other people that do it as well, working together. So today you have now heard about juvenile arthritis, and I don't live with juvenile arthritis anymore, but there are still 1,000 children out there that do. And from today, from being here, you are now aware of the condition, so you can go back and you can share it, so people in your class and community can feel supported enough to share about it as well. And you've now taken that step to change the way the world views arthritis with us here at Kids Arthritis. So thank you for having me.
Please raise it up for Arthur. Amazing story. I'm sure a lot of us can take a lot from that. But we would love to get some more from Kate by asking some questions. So the way we're going to do some questions is by simply turning to your partner, doing a game of scissors, paper, rock. The best of three, whoever the winner of the best of three is, you must brainstorm a question that you would like to ask Kate first, okay? Scissors, paper, rock. Sarah.
It is very difficult because you're in pain every day. When I used to live with juvenile arthritis or arthritis in general, it is very hard because your whole body is in pain every moment of every day. You go to sleep, you're in pain, you wake up, you're in pain. Your joints can be swollen, and there is also medication now with biological medications that go in and try and change things inside of your body. But ultimately, you've still got that pain that is there all the time. So just imagine being in pain all the time, every moment, every day, whether it be in lots of different joints or just in maybe a couple of joints, but it always stops you from doing things. So yeah, that's what it feels like.
Must have taken a lot of resilience to get through that and just stick with it. Very good, thank you.
Yes.
Great question. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, stand up for us. What's your name? Introduce yourself. Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Peter, what's your question?
My question was if there were, what treatment you had to fix your arthritis, and how long it took for you to get that treatment.
So when I was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, I was 18 months of age, and the only medication that was out there was things like Panadol and Nurofen, and steroids, so medications. And then as time went on, as the generation before me, so people that are 40, 50 years old, they were the gold injection generation, cortisone injection, starting to go to hospital and have an operation. And it would take for me in particular, for my journey, it took a really long time because a lot of medications were quite new into Australia. And so you have to go through this ladder, right, of medications. And there is no medical cure for arthritis or juvenile arthritis at this stage. So all there is treatment. So whether that is an injection, I used to have one into my leg area twice a week, or into your stomach, or into your arm, or a the arthritis from spreading throughout the body as well. So if you have like a grandparent or somebody who's a bit older, they might have arthritis, possibly like fingers or knees, and they might complain about pain all the time, like osteoarthritis. It's like that, but when you are a child.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that answer. 1, 2, 3. And final one at the back here. Yes, and what is your name in your school?
Hi, I'm Sophie. I go to Allen High School. Since you're obviously so persistent, what did you tell yourself to keep going?
Well, the world was telling me that I would always have juvenile arthritis. I'd always have arthritis and I'd always be in pain. And nothing was ever going to change. And then I obviously had those people that were telling me not to start a charity. That's the first of its kind in Australia. People were saying, no, don't do it, like I shared. And so for me, it was those people, like us in the Kids Arthritis Fair, and my friends and my family and other people that were also living with juvenile arthritis, that would encourage me to keep going. I also won a lot of awards, like 21 awards in 1 year, South Australian Citizen of the Year, South Australian Young, whatever, of the Year, yep, and you won that one. And so there were lots of these sort of encouragements from the outside that were telling me that I was doing a good job to keep going. So I suppose, and also I suppose deep inside of me, it was this desire to make sure that no child, family, or parent will end up going through this juvenile arthritis journey by themselves and not knowing anyone else living with juvenile arthritis.
Absolutely. So just sticking with it, finding a support circle that will get you through it.
Yes, once you find people that are like you,
Yes,
that makes it a little different.
Thank you for that. 1, 2, 3. Kate, awesome. Sarah, I'm so sorry. Sarah has given us some amazing advice, amazing experience and wisdom to pass over to us. We are very, very grateful to have you here with us. I'd love to get our gratitude expressed over to you. So, here's the one.
Thank you so much
Yes,
for coming
thank you.
today, sharing our hearts. We just have a little gift and a little thank you. We would love to hear about how you overcome the challenges you face every